y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do my 26-week pregnancy update, but before we jump into that, I kind of want to address the elephant in the room. So I have been saying that I would upload videos every Tuesday and Friday, but we kind of had some stuff go on the past couple of weeks. It's just pulled my attention away a lot more than I would have, I don't want to say more than I would have liked, because, you know, life happens and things come up, but it just demanded a little bit more of my attention. So I wanted to do a brief little update on kind of what's been going on. So 2 weeks ago we had a little incident with Miss Jan, and y'all haven't, I mean, I think I've mentioned her in passing whenever we were doing my grocery hauls and stuff like that. She is family who is not technically family, who lives with us. There's a big long backstory, maybe I'll share it someday, but we basically kind of adopted her into our family, and so she's like a third grandmother to my kids and a second mom to Mark and I. And so she lives with us. She's older. She's 70. She'll be 72 this year. She has COPD, and so she ended up in the hospital because she was having breathing issues and stuff like that. And so we had all of that going on, and then we've been trying to remodel our kitchen. Not really remodel, we've been really painting cabinets, and we're going to tile the countertops and stuff. But you know, in this process we've been decluttering a lot and trying to get rid of a lot of stuff and cleaning, and so it's just kind of been a mess. And being, you know, pretty pregnant, I've been not really up to doing all of my normal stuff plus the extras, and then having to sit down during nap times or after the kids are in bed to do a video was just not happening. So my videos have been sparse, but I'm hoping now things are starting to calm back down to get back to my normal filming schedule. And so anyway, all of that to say, I am 26 weeks pregnant today, and so I figured I would do something easy and do a pregnancy update. So let's get into it finally. So baby girl is 13, somewhere between 13 to 15 inches long. She is the size of, she's either the size of a bunny or a papaya. And then I have an app that tells me it's like 80s and 90s nostalgia, and it also says she's the size of a Walkman. She's about 1.4 to 2.2 pounds. And so I guess they just take the smallest and then the biggest, just somewhere in that range. So she's been measuring kind of right in the middle, so probably around 14 inches and about 1.5 to 2 pounds. So the biggest update really with her, well, it's not really an update with her, but about her, is that we did decide to change her name. We were watching The Mummy, actually, and you know, one of the main characters' names on there is Evelyn, and I heard it and I'm like, that is just such a pretty name. And Mark really loved it, and I loved it, and then we mentioned it to friends and family and they loved it, and we're like, okay, so we're going to keep the middle name, but her first name will be Evelyn, so she'll be Evelyn Lucille. And so it's still a kind of nod to Mark's grandmother, but also a name that we really love. And we also have to keep Lucille because even if it didn't have a special meaning behind it, Callum calls her Lucy, and there is no getting Callum off of Lucy. He has just decided that that's her name, and so there is no changing it at this point. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, because I want to call her Evelyn or Evie, and Matt, my oldest, wants to call her Evelyn, and everybody else wants to call her Evelyn except for Callum and Kaylin. And well, I think what we're going to do is he can call her Lucy if he wants to, and then maybe eventually, if we say it, he'll eventually start saying it, or she'll just have multiple names. All of my kids have little nicknames, so maybe her little nickname's just gonna be Lucy. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I think the last time that I did a video about my pregnancy, I was talking about my prenatal anxiety. So it has been about 3 weeks since my doctor put me on the medication for my anxiety. It has definitely been working. I have not had a panic attack in about 2 weeks, and I still have some minor anxiety, but nothing that I can't work through and pray about and manage. It's definitely taking the edge off, which is all that I needed to do. I don't want to take anything anymore, I don't want to up the dose. I just want to take the edge off enough to where I can get my bearings and I can just pray through it. So that has been very helpful. It kind of tanked my appetite a little bit. I wasn't very hungry very much. I ended up losing, I think, like 5 pounds, but it was, it also helped a lot with my cravings. I wasn't getting as much of a sweet tooth until today. I actually had a sweet tooth today, and we went and got Sonic ice cream. I got a Sonic Blast because I hadn't been eating a whole lot of junk, and it just sounded really good. And so I'm still 3 pounds down, but I have gained 2 pounds back, which is good. I'm okay with my weight on where I'm at right now. I don't put on a ton of weight, but I always end up gaining about 35 pounds. So I fully expect at this point I've gained about 20 pounds. And so that's kind of tracking. If I were to just start gaining from here on out, I would probably end up at 35 pounds. But I'm trying to be careful on what I'm eating. I'm trying to watch my sweets and my sodas and drink more water and exercise and just kind of stay active. Because my last update, I was talking about how I was not wanting to do those things, but I've managed to suck it up, and I started actually trying to take better care of myself and at least get some exercise and eat a little bit better. And so it's been helping. So she has been definitely moving a lot more. I mean, she's been moving. I've felt movement from the time I would think it was like 16 weeks, somewhere around there. But she's got these really big, strong movements now. And her kicks are really hard. So she's definitely getting stronger. My symptoms I've had, I thought that I was just feeling her kind of roll or move. But I've actually started to realize that I think I'm having Braxton Hicks contractions, which you would think that this is my 4th pregnancy. Hello, Brittany, you should know what a Braxton Hicks contraction feels like. But I actually didn't get them a lot with Kaylin. I don't remember having a lot of Braxton Hicks contractions with Kaylin. It's a little unusual for me to be having them already at 26 weeks, but this is my 4th pregnancy, so we'll see. But they do all feel, it's all kind of lower in the lower region, and it kind of, that's how you can tell the difference between a Braxton Hicks contraction and a real contraction. A real contraction takes your whole belly, and the Braxton Hicks contraction takes more of your lower belly. They're just practice contractions. And so it just feels kind of like a tightening feeling, just a little uncomfortable, and lasts a couple of minutes, and then it just goes away. It's not anything, and they're not happening that often. It's just like a couple a day, and they're not painful at all. So I'm not really concerned about them. Like I said, I wasn't even sure that's what it was, and until a couple of days ago, I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably is what that is. So other symptoms I'm having, I actually don't have a whole lot of symptoms. I've not really had a whole bunch of cravings. Like I said, that medicine that I'm taking has really kind of kicked a lot of them out. I haven't had any cravings until I had the craving for the ice cream today. But other than that, I've really not had any cravings lately. My back pain has gotten a little worse than it was before. And so I still have yet to order a maternity belt. It's on my list. I just haven't ever gotten around to it. I keep on just forgetting. And this one's going to be a major TMI. So it's a pregnancy update. So you kind of get what you get. But I have really struggled with digestion issues, like using the restroom. But I've been taking a Colace, like just once a day, and it seems to be helping. I'm trying to work to increase my fiber, and so hopefully that helps. It's, it happens to every pregnancy, for me at least, every pregnancy, no matter how much fiber I eat or how much water I drink, I always end up having those struggles. It is what it is. So my next appointment is on June 8th. It's already June. My next appointment is July 8th. I will be 29 weeks and I will officially be in the 3rd trimester. And I cannot believe in 3 weeks I'm going to be in the 3rd trimester. I think it's just because we've been so busy and had so much going on. It really does feel like this pregnancy is just completely flying by. I realized the other day that, in just about 3 months that she's going to be here. And that seems so strange that we're going to have another baby here in like 3 months. But anyway, so at my next appointment, I do have an ultrasound, and which is surprising because my last my last pregnancy, I did not have any additional ultrasounds after the 20-week ultrasound because everything was fine. And then for Callum, he had the cleft, and so I got ultrasounds a lot. So I got to see him very often because they were wanting to make sure that everything was still tracking correctly. So it's funny that we're having another ultrasound because there was absolutely nothing wrong the last time, so I'm not sure why she wants to do another one, but hey, I'm all for seeing little baby Evelyn again. I'm still getting used to calling her Evelyn. I love the name, but it's still strange to call her that. I'm so used to calling her Lucy. Anyway, I think that's about it. That's all I can really think of. I do have some more life update stuff. We have some other stuff going on. Well, I have some other stuff going on. Oh, I guess I can probably go ahead and mention it on here because I have mentioned before about my ADD issues. This is just an added. Actually, I'm going to go ahead, before I jump into this next portion, I'm going to go ahead and insert the bump footage now. So again, I'm feeling pretty big. I have looked at other pictures and I do think that I am smaller now. I think I was on track to being bigger than I was with Kaylin. I have a feeling that at the very end of this pregnancy, I will probably end up somewhere between where I was with Kaylin and where I was with Callum. Callum was my smallest pregnancy, or I was my smallest pregnancy. He was actually bigger than Kaylin, but I was at my smallest during that pregnancy, and then I was at my heaviest. I think both with Kaylin and with Matthew, I ended up about the same weight, but I felt huge the last time. But I think I'm going to end up somewhere in the middle this time. So I've mentioned on here before about I've mentioned my sensory processing issues, and I've also mentioned my ADD. I think I've mentioned my ADD on here. Well, the thing is that I've never actually officially been diagnosed with ADD, and so I'm actually, one of the things that's kind of captured a lot of my attention is that I have been working with, I actually had my first appointment today with a psychologist to get an official diagnosis, but in the meantime I had been doing a bunch of research and just kind of, I have the tendency to hyper focus on things, and I had been completely focused on just learning everything I could about what it looked like, just everything that she's evaluating me for, what all of those symptoms look like, and what I feel, kind of basically trying to self-diagnose because this is what I do. And I did all of this research just to go in today before I went in today thinking, you know what, I need to just kind of clear my mind and just go in there and just be completely honest with her and just see what she has to say. So that appointment went really well, and I have an evaluation next Thursday to have a to do the 2-hour evaluation for she said it's a full workup. It's ADD, ADHD, and ASD. Based on our discussions today, I think she's figuring I'm somewhere in the ADD, ADHD range. I will go in next Thursday for that evaluation, and I will go in on the 9th to get for my feedback appointment. So hopefully I will have answers at that point on what's actually going on inside my head. So yeah, that's what else has been going on, and so I'll probably do a video all about that. So anyway, I think that wraps up, that more than wraps up my pregnancy update, and just gave you a whole lot of extra information, but you know what, it's what I do. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope you will consider sticking around. Like I said, I'm going to try to get back to posting videos every Tuesday and Friday. At the very least, it will at least be once a week, but my goal is every Tuesday and Friday. So hopefully I can get back to that now that it seems like life has settled back down a little bit. So thank you for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.